Good morning, and welcome to Apple's new campus in Seattle. My name is KRISTINA RASPE, and I'm the Vice President for Global Real Estate and Development for Apple. This gives me the honor of leading the teams that deliver our office spaces around the world to ensure that our employees have wonderful spaces to do their life's best work. It's great to be here in Seattle this morning to showcase our exciting new workspace. This morning, we're eager to talk next steps about the site, but more generally, we want to celebrate the tremendous work that local leaders have done here over the past several decades to make Seattle a world-class place to live and to work. We're delighted to have with us Mayor Jenny Durkan and Seattle Chamber of Commerce President MARILYN STRICKLAND. Seattle has actually been part of the Apple family since 2003, when we opened one of our very first retail stores right here in Seattle. Our Western Washington retail locations serve as the hub of local activity for communities through volunteer activities and free workshops. Building on our existing presence, in December, Apple announced our plan to expand the site in Seattle and open a new site with a commitment to add 1,000 employees to this area over the next 3 years as part of our nationwide expansion. Today, we're thrilled to share that our ambitions have grown. In addition to the 500+ employees that we already have here in Seattle, within the next 5 years, we plan to add an additional 2,000 employees, doubling our initial goal, with 200 employees being added by the end of this year. Under this plan, Seattle will become a key engineering hub for Apple, with new positions distributed across many specialty engineering fields, including hardware, software technologies, and services. We know there is so much talent in Seattle, and we can't wait to see how this community spurs our own innovation. We're actively recruiting for many of our teams, including engineering positions for iCloud. Call us. Our beautiful space here at 333 Dexter, located in the South Lake Union area, less than 500 yards from Seattle's iconic Space Needle, will be open by the end of this year. The 650,000 square foot space is comprised of 2 LEED Platinum towers with 12-story towers designed to foster collaboration and inspiration. And personally, I'm excited to say that they will be powered by 100% renewable energy. We're thrilled to be part of the growth in this part of the city. Beyond our direct employment, we're proud of the role that Apple plays in fostering digital entrepreneurship here in Seattle. The vibrant app ecosystem, spurred by the App Store, is a fantastic example. There are 92,000 jobs across the state attributable to the App Store. We're privileged to have a number of great app developers who call Seattle home, but whose products reach customers around the world from their offices right here. They and we share the belief that Seattle's future is very bright. We recognize, though, that today's reality did not happen overnight, and it took lots of hard work. Ultimately, that's what attracts Apple to Seattle. Your leaders have created a vibrant economy that powers Washington and attracts the best and the brightest creators and innovators from around the world. We thank the mayor and your local leadership for all of their amazing efforts to make this partnership happen. On behalf of our CEO, Tim Cook, we're thrilled to be in Seattle, and we look forward to making our contribution to Seattle's future. Thank you very much, and now I'd like to turn things over to Mayor Durkan.
Thank you so much, KRISTINA, for that warm welcome, and welcome to Seattle. For many of you who've been at my various events, I'm suddenly much more interested in talking about HQ2, a different HQ2. These jobs confirm what we know already. Seattle has the best talent and the best city anywhere. We have room to grow, and we are thriving. Apple's expansion in Seattle is another example of the growing opportunity that our region and our city shows. It also shows that our residents here have so much opportunity. It's a reminder that our city has become a real economic and technology superpower. But at the same time, what makes Seattle Seattle is not just the great tech names that we have here and the engineers and the software developers and the companies who become emblematic of change in the new economy, But Seattle also has a thriving industrial community, a great maritime community. This Apple fits so great into what Seattle is and what Seattle will become. We know as a city we also have to innovate for more affordable housing. And one thing I really appreciate having Apple give such a strong presence here and increasing is that their voice for the issues and values that we care about in Seattle are so aligned with what Apple's values are. We are great. I think we'll be great partners. It is great to add to it. You know, we look around here, we're not far from Amazon and Microsoft, which started here, but we got Facebook and Google, and now Apple is increasing its presence. I admitted that my first big consumer debt was to buy an Apple Macintosh in 1985, so I was an early adopter. We know that we also have to increase a lot of things for this city for it to work. We need better transit as quickly as we can build it. We're in the middle of building an audacious program with Sound Transit 3. We want to bring more light rail, more bus service, as many places as we can get it. We also want a vibrant downtown and city that people can walk and bike and roll to where they want to go. We know that that is a cornerstone for what the city must begin. For that reason, we wanted to make sure that we developed a culture around transit. And so last year we were able to announce and give every Seattle Public School student free Orca passes so they could take transit anywhere they wanted to go. This last week we also did a pilot with our low-income neighbors in the Seattle Housing Authority to give 1,500 people transit passes. We know that those passes are really the passport to our city. Youth opportunity is also critically important to us, and it's another thing where we're so aligned with Apple, who's here today, and some of our other corporate partners. With our Seattle Promise, every Seattle public high school student now will get 2 years free college. 2 years free college. And we have seen the numbers of people enrolling in that start to gradually and then significantly increase. The next thing we want to do is make sure that those youth, those students have the opportunity for the best jobs anywhere. And they're right here in Seattle with a range of employers. That's yet another thing that Apple and our other folks here in Seattle have been willing to do, is commit to those students to give internships and jobs, whether it's a labor apprenticeship or a tech engineer. I just want to say that this is another sign that Seattle is thriving. And I look forward to working with Apple to bring them more into the fold. They've been here in a way, but this is a significant investment in the city and in the future of Seattle. I now want to introduce one of our leaders who's been working on really diversifying our economic base, MARILYN Strickland.
Thank you very much, Mayor. And I'm very pleased today to not just welcome Apple, but to send a message that Seattle welcomes your expansion here. I'm MARILYN Strickland, President and CEO of the Seattle Metropolitan Chamber of Commerce. We are the largest and most diverse business advocacy organization in the region, and we strive for this. We want our businesses to thrive and grow, and we want to make sure that our economy is inclusive and equitable. Our vision is to make sure that every person who calls this place home has the opportunity to prosper, and Apple's presence here and expansion will help us do just that. We're excited that you're here. We hope to see you more engaged with the Seattle Chamber because we do a lot of events every year, and we look forward to having you as a partner. But let's talk about another thing that's important too. For a long time in Seattle, we have always aspired to be on the global stage. Well, now we are. And this is yet another example of the fact that Seattle is on the global stage. We're players. The world is watching us. And what that means is that we have responsibility to think about how we grow business, how we attract business, but also to remember that there are people right here at home who want to have these jobs that pay well. So now's an opportunity for us to call out our K-12 system, to work with them, to work with our higher education system, and to make sure that when we have companies like Apple who want to expand here, that we have prosperity that can benefit the people who've called Seattle home for a very, very long time. Welcome, Apple. We are thrilled you are here, and we look forward to working with you, not with just the Seattle Chamber, but with the greater Seattle partners and many other organizations who are proud to call this place home and understand that Seattle's economy is thriving because it is inclusive. Thank you.